What is up, everybody? I am Renascence Mark, your modern Renaissance creator, your friendly neighborhood content creator, and welcome back to another episode of Per-Sception, where I have my brother, one of my best friends in the world, my business partner, my co-founder, just my musical inspiration, pretty much goddamn everything. This is Akil Paragon. My boy, talk to the people, man. Let them know.
Yo, it's your boy.
Yo, oh my god, bro! Like, just so everybody knows, we do live in separate states. We do live in separate states. That's why we're definitely doing remote. But with that, I did want to make sure, even with the COVID and the pandemic things happening, I wanted to get you guys this conversation. I feel like this is probably going to be a great conversation. We're going to really deep dive about a lot of things. I'm going to ask you, where would you like to start? Would you like to start personally? Would you like to start Renaissance stuff? Would you like to start creative stuff? Where would you want to start? Like, I can go.
Oh, I don't know. Let's talk creative for a minute.
Okay. I got these damn fireworks in the back, so if you hear them shits in the back, let's just never mind it. Them shits is getting on my damn nerves. I'm just getting on my nerves, man. These damn fireworks, they've been doing this shit every fucking night.
Yeah.
Oh my.
It's been calm out here. I'm surprised.
I'm about to dip then, cause sheesh. But so okay, let's talk creative. First and foremost, I want to talk. Okay, if we're gonna talk creative, I want to talk the past before we get into the future. Then I want to talk about. Let's talk about your two projects. From going into Renascence Media. Let's talk about, like, give me your mindset on your first project. That, of course, that you dropped. I always get the last part wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's when I wasn't. I got that wrong again.
What it was when I wasn't.
I keep switching it. I keep saying when it wasn't. God damn it.
Mike, I'm gonna give y'all some insight into that title.
Yes, give it up.
So basically, that was what year was that? 2016, right? I want to say.
Yes.
2016, yeah. So what it was when I wasn't was, like, I guess the concept came from, like, at that point, I was in a pretty low point.
Right.
And, but coming off of that, I was, like, in a low point, but prior to that had made some, fairly positive music, I guess.
Right.
And all the music I had been making up until that point was really dark and really sad. I was, like, getting my frustrations and my emotions out. So I was just thinking on, like, the juxtaposition between the two time periods. And I was like, if this is what it sounded like, when I was cool and then I was happy, then this is what it was when I wasn't happy.
Okay, that I see. We never. Wow. Okay, we never got that. So, yeah. Damn, that puts a lot of things in perspective. Okay, that does. That puts a lot of things in perspective.
It takes on, like, another layer, to the point of, like, a couple of the songs, were dealing with, a personal issue I was going through. So it was also like, this is what it was, basically it was girl problems.
Of course, yeah.
And, I was kind of, like, dealing with and processing, her picking someone else over me.
Right.
So also the second layer of that title, this is what it was. This is what I was going through when it wasn't me. When the guy she picked wasn't me.
That's okay. I like that. I don't like that she did you dirty like that, but
Yeah,
saying, but
hey, look, bigger and better things.
That's right. Always. So let's talk more into that album. Give me after that album was done. Give me your give me your mindset of what the feedback was. Give me your mindset on how you felt after putting it out. Give me your mindset on what changed after that, whether for the better or for worse, and letting that be your project that technically was your first Renaissance Media project. So after we started this whole thing, like, give me that time frame mindset.
Honestly, like, I would say I was a little all over the place around that time, you know, because that was also like the first time I had ever put out like a collection of songs where I'm like, okay, this, you know, be it an album, an EP, mixtape, whatever. That was the first time I was like, and I mean, it was only what, five
I
tracks?
think so, yeah. Yeah. Definitely no more than 7. I'm not thinking.
I want to say it was 5.
Yeah. If I'm not
like,
mistaken,
you
5.
know, by like most standards, it's not, you know, that much. But, you know, for me, I was like, okay, I have 5 songs that I think fit together in like a cohesive, I wouldn't say a story or, you know, necessarily a concept, but, you know, they all sound like they should be on the same project.
Right.
And so I was like, hey, we're just going to put this out. So with that being the first thing, I was like relieved in a way to be like, okay, I can, you know, come up with something solid and be like, all right, I'm going to release this and step away.
Right.
And then also just kind of like the nervousness, because that was also a lot of those songs were the first time, you know, for me attacking some of those heavier topics and releasing it, you know, for anybody to listen to.
Right. Okay.
Because, you know, prior to that, I would write things or I would record things and kind of just keep them to myself or amongst, you know, friends, immediate family. I never released any.
Right.
So that was like it was big in a lot of ways in terms of like, you know, vulnerability as far as my music goes.
Talking about vulnerability.
Yeah.
I think out of the group from the very beginning, from when we had a lot to when we had just us now, and we'll definitely get more into that when we go into the Renaissance Media topics, but I think it's the consensus that you are the most vulnerable of the collective, which is not a bad thing at all. I'm saying like in a more creative space, in a good way, because I know in my music I hide a lot behind bravado sometimes. You know, Noel is very introspective about things. Doob is very bravado about things. I know we all have our vulnerable points, but I know you, out of the most part, made the most vulnerable music. After that, did you feel after that album, with the feedback that you got, did you feel that being vulnerable was going into the right direction? Not saying the right direction as far as like people giving you negative feedback or any bullshit like that, but like, did you feel like, okay, cool, I done my vulnerable thing, now let me move on? Or I done this vulnerable thing, I feel comfortable in this space, let me move, let me keep riding in this lane, as far as being the vulnerable being the vulnerable one?
Honestly, I don't think about it like that at all.
Right.
Because it's kind of like, it was never something I set out to do. I never like okay, I'm gonna be, this vulnerable guy
Right.
in my music. It's just I just write what I feel and whatever comes to me, and it's just like then we just go from there.
Right.
So it's never an intention to be like, okay, I'm gonna write, only songs that express my emotions or, things like that. It's just whatever I'm feeling at a particular time. It's just like, that's just what I'll do.
Right. Okay.
So it was never like I set out to be, that guy. I guess it also just comes from like my influences as well. Like, shout out to Cuddy one time.
Shout out to Cuddy one time.
For, like letting me know that that's okay. Like you can be emotional and you can be vulnerable about, shit you're going through and about your life and shit in rap music.
Right.
Because I mean, like you said, it's a lot of bravado and it's a lot of hiding behind. And like really, probably Cuddy was like one of the first ones, first rappers that I heard that I was like, oh shit, like he's like really talking about like real things that I experience and I feel like no one else understands. So I guess as in an extension, into my own music, I guess I try to reflect that as well for somebody else who might need it.
Yeah, because and like you said, shout out to Cuddy. Cuddy might have saved almost at least almost anybody who may have started school in like 2006. Like Cuddy that man has saved each and every one of us. There'll probably be the population of this earth will probably go down a significant number without Cuddy.
Right.
So shout out to Cuddy, and also Cuddy cannot wait for your new podcast coming out. I'm hyped.
Oh yeah,
oh my god, just to hear him like talk about issues and shit is gonna be great.
Bro, honestly,
god,
you have to talk. Let that man hum for an hour.
Yo, word, just the humming podcast, just the hum podcast.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
Coronavirus to go away. White people would get their shit together. Like, we'll be fine, bro.
Sure, man. Nowadays, I don't even know if humming gonna fix that one. These white
also,
people acting up.
What your audience is like, so sorry, white people.
If you feel offended by that, you're not my audience. I can tell you that. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? But so after going into that album, or coming out of that album, I should say.
Yeah.
Then I know that we'll talk about this a little bit later, but I know that there was, of course, always projects in the mind, but the next one to be executed was Tomorrow Seems Alright. Let's talk about that album, because I got a lot of questions about that album after the fact of it. So let's talk about it. What was your mindset of that album?
Before we jump into that album,
right?
I just really want to touch on something super quick.
Give it to me.
That in between time, when I released my instrumental project that everybody slept on,
I loved it. We
that Isaac Asimov's Beach House. Like, I don't even think that's online. I need to get that back online.
If you find it, send it to me. I'm putting that in the description. If you find it online, if you get it back online, send it to me. I'm putting that in the description. Right on Bandcamp. Put that right on Bandcamp.
I still listen to it to this day, and I was like, yo, what was I on? Like, that shit was fire.
That shit was so... I love... Like, me and you have talked about that instrumental tape for a minute, and I was like, this is fucking amazing. And it was like, everyone slept on it, but fuck them.
Yeah.
Oh, that was such a good project.
It also has a short story. I wrote a short story with the project, like as a companion piece, and I never released it.
Really? Oh, then you gotta re-release that then with the short story, dog. Yeah. Like, you gotta re-release it with the short story.
I'm like, I think it's actually coming up on like the 2-year maybe?
It was about 2-year anniversary. Yeah, because it was definitely after. I'm thinking it was 2018. It was 2018. Yep. Yeah.
So it's coming up on that anniversary. I might do something. I want to say it came out 4th of July actually.
It did. It did.
Came out July 4th, 2018.
It fucking did. It damn sure did.
Yep. Yeah, we gotta get that back out into the world.
Oh yeah, and I might have a nice little idea for that. I'm gonna share that with you in a bit.
Hey, I might throw some bonus tracks on there. Who knows?
Listen, let me tell you.
We might get that on Spotify. Let's get that on streaming service.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
We're gonna work on it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna play with some ideas with that too for you. Hell yeah. But okay. Mindset. Tomorrow seems alright. Give it to me.
Yes. Tomorrow. Well, let's talk about first off the title. The title will give you my mindset. The original title, the working title for that album was "Tomorrow Seems Alright Until Yesterday Returned."
Ooh, okay.
So basically, like, you can be positive and you can be hopeful and you can be looking forward to things, but then there might be some things from your past or some things that you've been through that you haven't gotten over, and that automatically ruins your outlook on your future.
Ooh,
because you're like, hey, how am I supposed to move forward if I can't get over these things in my past? So it's like tomorrow seems all right until yesterday returned.
Okay, so why did you cut that second half then?
I cut it because I was in a good place, and I was like, let's not think about the past. Let's just focus on the positivity and the right now. We feel good. Let's focus on that.
Okay, I fucks with that.
So then it just became tomorrow seems all right. Because like that time, it did. I was like, yo, this is cool.
You were in a good space. You were in a good space, a much better space at that time. Just off of conversations that back then and things like that, you were in a much better space at that time. And I mean, everything was good around that time. Yeah. For the most part. Yeah.
Like, I feel like that for that period, like, we were all winning for a little bit.
We were all winning for a bit.
Like, we really were.
We gonna talk about it.
Then, like, personal life things happening, and that was a nice little sweet spot.
That was a sweet spot for sure. And I'm gonna touch on that because I got some shit to say.
Let's go.
Now, with both of those tracks, actually no, I'm gonna stay in Tomorrow Seems Alright for a bit. Okay. Do you feel like the ball, because for me, I feel like the way that album was, I feel like as a collective that the ball was dropped on that album, because I feel it could have been shared out if we would have had a better understanding of, like, all of us together, if we would have had a better understanding on maybe the way we look at things now. Like in Renascence Media, like the way we look at things now, if we would have had a better understanding back then, I kind of feel like all of those projects at that time would have been better received, because we would have been able to put them in their correct spaces. Because to me, Tomorrow Seems Alright embodied a perfect, like, indie album. It didn't seem hip-hop to me, but we shipped it as hip-hop. You know what we did? We Igored you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we Grammy'd Igored you, where we were like, well, this album doesn't sound like hip hop at all. Like there's hip hop in it, like there's some rap lyrics and stuff in it, but for the most part you were singing, and it was very instrumental. It was a big use of instrumentation, and it was poppy, it was indie, it was Foster the Kids-esque, it was Mac DeMarco-ish, it was
and like at that time, that's a lot of what I was listening to,
right?
Like, listening to that album, and like around that time I was listening to a lot of like Rex Orange County and Yellow Days, and
big Rex Orange County feeling,
Flower Boy era Tyler,
right?
Johnson. So like a lot of that stuff and a lot of those influences definitely made their way into that album for sure.
And I feel like it sucks because like if we were to ship it to that audience, much better received than shipping it to the audience that it was shipped to, because like we put it in a hip-hop lane, and we got slim to nothing back, and we tried to retroactively fix it, because remember, even like months passed after Tomorrow Seems Alright went out, where me and you had that conversation, and I was like, this is an indie album. I was like, fuck it, let's try to rewind it and reship it out as an indie album. And when we did, it got better. It was received better, but it was received a lot more in the grand scheme of things. And I was like, fuck, but it felt like a missed opportunity, like we kind of missed that window. So how do you feel about that? Like, how do you feel about that ball that got dropped? Like,
honestly, like, I don't really feel any type of way about it, because it's like, I was right along with you guys, and my reasoning for it was like, that was the first time I was like, yo, I'm gonna sing on fucking 4 out of the fucking 5 tracks. And like one doesn't even count because it was an instrumental, but like
facts.
It was mostly singing, and that was a first for me where I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna sing on almost this whole project."
Right.
So, I think in the sense of me pushing it as hip hop, it was more for people who like that and want to go back and look at my other stuff. If you go back and look at my other stuff, you're not gonna hear me singing. I'm gonna be rapping.
Truth.
So it was like, what if I pull in a bunch of indie kids who won't like my old shit?
That's true. You definitely would have had the you would have had the Tyler divide.
Yeah.
You would have had the Tron Cat fans are getting sick of the lakes. All the analog kids are getting sick of the rapes, I'm getting sick of complaints. Daily trips to the bank.
Yo, I've been listening to that album heavy lately. Like Wolf is
quintessential Tyler. Tyler.
I would say, me and you had this conversation. I think I hit you.
Yeah.
I was like,
Wolf is perfect Tyler.
Wolf is Tyler's Twisted Fantasy.
1,000%. 1,000%. 1,000%. It is. It's Tyler's best of both worlds. Like right there.
Oh yes.
Right there. Like you saw the transition of Flower Boy, Cherry Bomb, and Igor, but he didn't let go of like Goblin Bastard. It was good. It was good.
Yep. It was right there in the middle. It just worked.
Oh my God.
Honestly, that album, I can play from front to back with the exception of one song.
Give me the song. What song?
Parking Lot. That song just did not hit for me.
Parking Lot was weird.
That is the only song. Like, if he would have cut that song off that album,
it would have been a perfect album.
Front to back, no skips.
Yeah, it would have been a perfect album. Yeah, I think if anything, I may skip Parking Lot. Yeah, I don't skip anything else. I mean, at times, I think I skip maybe Trash Wang. I think, but I think at times, because sometimes if I'm driving, I may not just want to hear it. Like I may just want to just put me to
And
Bimmer.
at times,
Just put me to Bimmer.
I will admit, at times, I will skip Party Isn't Over and Campfire just to get the Beamer.
Oh my God. I'm going straight to Bimmer at times. Like sometimes I just put that shit on a loop.
Yeah.
God, I like Bimmer on a loop is perfect. But okay. Oh my God, man.
So sick.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about. So we talked about past steps. Let's talk about next steps. You are the king of not putting out albums that you've done. You are probably I can probably guess you're probably sitting on 5 albums, 7 EPs, 3 instrumental albums, and it ain't dropped nothing since 2018. What's up?
I'm sitting on so much music. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm sitting on so much music.
I am too. I'm being judgmental, but I am too.
Yeah. But like when I decide to release shit, like
Let them know.
I think it's like I don't know, man. It's like I really have to kind of sit with it and make sure, like, when I listen to my songs, I'm like, this is what I want out there.
Right.
This is it. And, I have one, that one I've been working on and I sent to you. And, like, once I get that dialed in, that's probably going to set the tone for whatever my next is.
Oh, wow. Okay. Because I really like the one you sent me, and we're not going to snitch on it. But the one you sent me, when you told me the feedback that you had on it, I did re-listen to it after we talked the second time.
Yeah.
I would say don't redo it. I would say don't re-vocal it. I think the vocals fit. It's enough. It's right in there. Like it's in that pocket because it gives you a Wizard vibe.
Ooh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Upper Room. Love Hard. You know what I mean? Like that like even as like under mumbled as it may have sounded that you were saying, I think the spaciousness of that instrumental and the abrasive when it comes through, I think it goes with it, dog. I think it does. Keep that in mind. After we do this, re-listen to it, hit me back.
Got you.
Okay.
Will do.
So I am gonna snitch on one project. What is happening? Give me Home Entertainment System, bro. The detox of the detox of Akil Paragon's discography.
Home Entertainment System.
Give it to me.
Should we like just drop a little insight on like what the project is first of all?
Yeah, do it. Do it.
So Home Entertainment System is this concept that I had where I just take a bunch of video game songs from like games we grew up playing.
Right.
Nintendo 64, Sega Genesis, that era type, when we were kids. And take songs from these games, the scores from these games, and sample them and turn them into tracks, and then we rap them.
Right.
And then the original idea, I think I came to each one of you and was like, give me your favorite game from that era.
Right.
Favorite soundtrack. I'll sample it, and that's your song.
Right. Right.
So since then, we have, unfortunately, lost members.
Oh, we gonna talk about it. Oh, we gonna talk about it.
I've kind of been in this space of, do I keep their picks, make those samples? Do I cut the tracks? Do I find new songs?
I got some ideas for that. We'll that's a personal talk. That's a personal talk, but we'll have that conversation for sure.
Yeah. But the ultimate holdup is, I think I do need to go back to square one, start from scratch, and rebuild that project from the ground up.
Yeah.
With the new roster and new things in mind.
Yeah.
And go from there.
1,000. Okay. I'm liking that.
It is still something that I want to do.
Right.
And it will still happen, but I think it just needs to be refocused. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about before we go into this, would be more so at the end of the creative space here, but going into I know with me, when I put out, I've put out a lot of music. Over the years, I mean, from Water is Fine all the way until They Think They Know You. I put out a lot of music over the years. Sometimes I feel like I like my ideology better than your ideology, but sometimes I like your ideology way better than my ideology, which is because I know your ideology is you like to have it something where you're a little bit more proud of it, or like it's there, like it's on its pedestal before you put it out, like it's cooked, it's ready, like the plate is dressed up nicely, this, that, and the third. Me, not saying that I don't. There's been a lot of times where I put out albums, and I could be proud of it the day of, the week of, next week I can't fucking stand it. I would re-listen to it and I'd be like, I fucking should have never got this fucking feature, or I should have never used this production. It's too many fucking tracks. I shouldn't have rapped that way. This content is fucking stupid. Like you know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm completely bashing the album I put out last week. Like and my thing is, like, I know that we, not me and you specifically, but I mean me and you as well, but all four of us has clashed a lot of the times where it was like, do we need to put out music in order to get it out to start growing the brand of it all, or should we wait, sit back, craft it, make sure it's right, so when we put it out, it hits a certain level each and every time? Or do we put out things and do we do like the Brockhampton saturation route, or do we do like the Dr. Dre route, where we make sure everything is perfect down to the T, down to the line? What's your take on that? Or is there a mixture of both? Is there a way that can be both? Because I mean, with the Brockhampton route, they did it. Like like I am jealous of that shit. Like they did the saturation series was perfect. Shout out Brockhampton. The saturation series was so perfect, and it was. I think they blew up the quantity versus quality argument because they did both. And I need us to get to that point, and I don't know how.
We just gotta move in together. Like, honestly, like if they all didn't live in the same house, I don't think that would have been like, that wouldn't have worked the way that worked. The fact that they were like, yo, we're gonna take 15 motherfuckers and cram them into this house in South Central LA and just create.
Honestly, but between me and you, that's still a possibility. I'm down. Like, that's still a possibility. I don't know too much about Noel, and Max got a whole family, but with me and you, that's still a possibility because we can create our asses off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, that was a lot of what made that work. The fact that they were like, yo, we're gonna be together all the time.
Right.
We're always gonna have shit ready to go. Like, if you go back and like look at old photos and look at like how Ramil's bedroom was set up, like this man had a mattress on the floor and then the rest of the fucking room was studio.
Jeez.
And it's just like everybody come in there, lay your shit down, we're done. Like, and the fact that like they also, everybody's ideas were, so it was like,
yeah,
it's really just like, that is the clinic for like a collaborative, collective effort. Like, it's like, if you want to know how that shit should work, look at Brockhampton. Period.
Yes, I was thinking that way too, because I've noticed successful collectives. If we talk about Brockhampton, fuck it, we can go all the way back to Wu-Tang. We can even go into Odd Future, of course. And those are, like, when I think of collectives, those are the three that I look at. Those really are the three that I look at, and I mean,
for sure.
They got, I mean, for the most part, you're absolutely right. It's, even if it's not the same house, it's same space. Like, you're in the same state, you're damn near neighborhoods away from each other, you're no more than this, that, and the third. It never hurts, always helps. And just the way that, it was good, because seeing Odd Future, seeing Brockhampton do it in a modernized time, just having that bounce idea off of person times 10 is amazing. Like, you always had somebody to check, when you fucking up. You always had somebody to hold you accountable. You always had somebody to bounce ideas off of, this, that, and the third. And I know, and this, we're gonna start moving into the Renaissance topic at this point, or the Renaissance category at this point. But I think that's one of the things that we lack a lot. We barely, like, I know as the four of us, we barely talk a lot. Like, we talk, but of course, but like, we don't talk ever so often like that. We're all busy people. I mean, we all talk when we can, of course. Like, we all have talked to each other recently and things like that. But as far as like collective, where it's like conversation, we definitely lack that. Now, my question to you is, let's talk about the start of Renaissance to now, and where your head is at on it, because I know where my head is at on it. Let's talk about yours. I give you mine, but let's talk about yours. I give you mine after, but let's talk about yours.
All right. Well, from the start, definitely for me, like, it was really like, holy shit, like, this is like a rap crew. Like, I don't have to write second verses anymore. You feel me? Like, like, but no, in all seriousness, it was like, I had always wanted, a solid group of people to, like, collab with and do music with.
Right.
And like, not just anybody, like people who understood my ideas and I understood their ideas, and we all got along. And the way things happened with Renaissance was so organic, that I was like, yo, this is what's up. This is a winning formula.
Right. It was.
And and
until
then when
we
started releasing music and doing things like that, I think like just that hunger and that enthusiasm, from everybody being like, okay, this is the dopest shit I could be doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that definitely, like we started off really, really strong because we were all excited about the concept.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and like I'm not gonna say that like I'm not still excited about the concept because I am.
Yeah.
But I think more so I'm thinking differently about it in the sense of like
Oh,
I wouldn't say
right on the nail.
mm, I guess like I'm just thinking of like now that it's four of us, what does that look like in
Yeah.
terms of creative output, in terms of videos, in terms
Yeah.
of a brand we can build and an image, we can start to cultivate. What does that look like?
Yeah.
So instead of it just being like, this big excitement and like this just balls bouncing type of energy, it's
Yeah.
more, I would say it's more focused and it's more of a like, I guess more, more just like a building, you have to be like, yo, how can we build this?
Yeah.
But honestly, like, I'll be the first one to say it. We all definitely do need to revisit that enthusiasm in the beginning when we were just dropping shit just to drop it.
Yeah.
Like, I think we might have gotten a little too deep in the crafting and the product.
Yeah.
And, like,
I think we got scared.
I think we should just go back to like that raw shit and like let's get the smoke detectors going off back in the
Smoke detector again. Akil is top tier Akil. Smoke detector Akil is top tier Akil. Timeless, my nigga.
But seriously, like,
man, put James Blake on a loop right now and let me and Max rap on that shit.
Look, like you get too into the perfection of it, and you're like, yo, like now, if I'm recording a verse and the damn smoke detector go off, that's it, scrapped. I'm recording it again.
Oh my god, yeah.
And it's like in the beginning, because we were all so hyped, I guess I didn't overthink as much, and I was like, yo, they love this shit. I'm putting it out.
Yeah, we overthink. I think. I'm not okay. So my thinking is very, very in line with your thinking. Very in line with your thinking. So in the beginning, and I'm naming names, man. It was me, you, and Max as the three founders.
Yeah.
Noel was essentially our very first act. He was our very first on board. And then we got Tony Omega. Shout out to Tone. We got NJ. Shout out to Ray. Yes. That was the music department.
Yeah.
We had Sharice a bit. But she was always vocal about not it being the main thing. But I just always loved Sharice's talent for singing. So it was always just an extra play. Then we brought on Pudge for drawing. We had Nick for art, the art department. Technically, we had Nick for damn near our street team and promo department.
Yeah,
technically Nick and Chris was our street team promo department and social media shit, and we had AJ was supposed to run the gaming department in a sense. We've lost all of them.
Well, I mean,
not lost. Like, they're there. I think what I mean to say is, I'm not gonna lie to you. And I'm not talking about the music department. I'm gonna get to the music department later. I'm talking about we did surpass and outgrow the uselessness of the others. And I like I said, like, I'm gonna have this honest ass talk. Like, it's me and you. Like, we're literally the founder and one of the co-founder. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so It's like, I know, like, Pudge wind up never doing anything. You know what I mean? Nick did promote at times, but it was inconsistent. you know, at the time, Chris wasn't sharing like that as much.
Yeah.
So he was inconsistent. You know, Cherie started to evolve in her field, and she, you know, she wanted to focus on that. AJ wasn't doing anything as well, or inconsistent, however way you want to put it. So they did get dropped. You know, like, because we couldn't drive a car with dead weight. We couldn't go as fast and as far as we wanted to with dead weight. So when they dropped, it wind up being the 6 of us. And man, the 6 of us, there's one thing I never take. There's one thing I won't take the whole collective away from, and that's This Is Renascence, the song. That's a perfect song still to this fucking day. I heard it like the other day. Like if you play that shit, it's still a perfect song to this day. And then number 2, once it got to the 6 of us, the issue, and I get into the issues with the 2 that left, but the one thing I won't take away from the 6 of us is Kill Collectives.
Oh no,
we bodied that.
Perfect.
We killed that. That was perfection at its fucking finest. And that goes into what you were saying. It was no overthinking at all. It was, yo, 6 of us, we're gonna do what we do best and fucking rap. And no matter how choppy it sounded, fuck the production, fuck this, fuck that. Yo, come to my house, rap. That was it. That was it. And I do want us to get back to that point at some point. Now, you're right. When it comes, I think, in a way, the four of us matured kind of a little bit, like creatively. Like, we matured creatively and in life, because I think once life really started hitting us kind of hard, we was like, oh, hold on. Like, it got too busy. Like, you know, of course, Max is a family man. He has to work. You know, Noel kept being more focused on his job than on his art. You know,
I mean, like, in the world, sometimes you gotta do that.
Yeah, you gotta do that, you know. I know you were dealing with things at the time. I was dealing with things at the time. So it got to the point where it wasn't feasible to keep, like, the excitement went down because life got hard. And for some reason, that I think about that sometimes, and you know, Tone was dealing with stuff, Ray was dealing with stuff at the time, and it got to the point where I never forget. I remember I was just sitting down in the dark, and I never forget this, and I was like, fuck, like, life isn't going to let this happen, because life is pulling all of us in such different directions that we can't focus on just creating. And then I thought about it, and I was like, but as creators, we should be able to get more excited about creation because we're dealing with life. But it was like the input of life wasn't matching the output of creativity. And that disappointed me, because I was like, fuck, like, when did we lose that? Because I can stub my, like, back in the day, I can stub my toe and create a whole album out of it. Now I stub my toe, I'm ready to fucking call out of work and go to bed. Like, I'm like, damn, like, I don't want to deal with today. But I am getting that back. I realize I'm always going to be an artist. I'm always going to be a creative. You are always going to be an artist. Max is always going to be. Creators will create through it no matter what. And I'm getting that fire back. And I remember me, you, Doob, and Noel, we had that conversation in the Facebook chat where we were like, where I was like, you know what? I'm done with the business. I don't like it. Like, I don't like the business of Renascence. Yeah, we it's funny because we came to that conclusion after we officially made it a business. Like, we got the LLC for it, we got the copyrights for it, like, it's in our name, like, we own it.
Yeah, and then it was just like, oh wait, this might be backwards.
Yeah, like, this is backwards, but it's still cool.
Like,
it's beautiful.
It still works because, like, it's still protected.
And it's like, yeah, we're protected. And you know what? At the end of the day, I can say I built a community and I made my closest friends business owners of something that we started out as damn near kids with dreams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mind you, we're still working hard to get to those points in our dreams, but one of the biggest things that I've heard was that what needs to be done is, I think we need to realign what our individual goals are, and also see how those individual goals fit into
with collective goals.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, we need to redo collective. You know what we need to do, in a sense? We need to renew our vows.
Oh yeah.
That's the way. Like, we need to renew our vows as a collective based off of our renewal of our individual vows with ourselves creatively. I think that's the way to do it. I'm definitely gonna have that talk with the four of us sometime this month. No biggie, no rush on it, but sometime this month, because I see a changing of the tide in a lot of us, and I want to make sure by the end of this year going into next year, we know what we do, we know who we are, we know what the collective is, and that's it. Now, let's talk Tone and Ray. Let's talk Tone and NJ. Let's talk Tone and NJ. I know we had that small conversation before on your IG live. And I get this sentiment a lot where I may have talked with Doob sometimes, or I talk with Noel sometimes, or me and you have spoken about this prior a couple of times as well. I think I used to feel, damn, like we dropped the ball by having that falling out with them. But cause like I used to be like, damn, we lost two big presences. I'm not gonna lie. Like, will I say more so Tone than NJ? For sure.
I would say they were like,
they were a perfect duo. They were a perfect duo.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Like, them two together, like, Roast is a perfect song.
It's a perfect fucking song. A perfect fucking song.
Like, but yeah, like, NJ definitely, like, to this day, some of my favorite bars
of all time
in Renascence shit is definitely him.
Yeah, same. I listen to Kill Collective a lot, and I'd be like, Ray got his shit off in them verses, yo. He got his shit off in them verses, man. He really fucking did.
He really did it. And then, like, even prior to that, like, when we did fucking Order of the Phoenix off the top rope with the drop kick,
catching the spot with your snot drip, rapping not for profit. But I've been called a prophet, and here's a proclamation.
Yo, like, he snapped on that verse.
The thing about Ray, which I loved, because the thing about NJ, which I love, and shout out to NJ, shout out to Ray, man. But the thing about him, which I loved, was that he embodied the competitive spirit of the group. Yeah. Because I'm telling you, any feature that he was on, or any posse cut we did, He was looking to have the best verse. No ifs, ands, or buts. He was looking to have the best lyrical content in that posse cut, in that feature. And I always knew that, and he always brought out the competitive side in me where, I mean, you know, Phoenix Royal, like, me and him have so many songs together where it's just insane competitive spirit. Phoenix Royalty, 90s Kids, everything from Kill Collectives, Order of the Phoenix. Like, we have a lot of things. Like, if you listen to any of those songs, you really listen to me versus him, like, put it in that mindset, man, it's a fun ride, yo. It's a fun ride, man, because there's times where I feel I got the better of him. There's times where I feel he got the better of me, and I'm pretty sure vice versa. I'm pretty sure he feels that way. But man, I always felt that when we lost them too, you know, sometimes I think about it and I'm like, the issue was that NJ was so he was very pessimistic, and I feel like he had this way where it was like, listen, if Renascence Media isn't doing music, it shouldn't do anything else at all. And that was like, because he was like, and to some point, you know, like when they say, like, to me, every villain in a movie, when they do their speech, it's always a good point. Like, you can never be mad at the villain's speech because they always do have a good point. So if I look at it like that, he did have a great point where it was like, man, like, you're doing Twitch shit, like, you're focused on gaming shit, you're focusing on merch, you're focusing on this, you're focusing on that. We need to focus on what sells, or we need to focus on our biggest play here, which is music. And my thinking was, well, it's not called Renascence Music.
Right.
Like, it's right. It's not supposed to be just music. It's supposed to be films and writing and fucking skate videos if you want to, or photography if you want to, or drawings if you want to. I didn't want it to be one medium.
Which, let me ask you a question though.
Shoot.
Now, looking back, what is this?
2020.
When did this? Yeah, 2020.
September 25th, 2015.
15? Yeah.
5 years, bro. Almost 5 years.
5 years on. 5 years on, right? With the team we had going into what we wanted Renascence to be, do you think that might have been too ambitious?
1,000%. You know, no, matter of fact, actually,
we went in with about 10 people and 6 of us were musicians.
Very true. So, yeah, right. So, here's my thing. Here's my perfect answer to that question, because I do think about that, and I have many talks with people about that. Was it too ambitious? No. Did we have the wrong? Was it too ambitious to have a collective full of your friends? Yes. Because like I said, I feel as in Pudge, Sharice, AJ, Chris back then, Nick were the wrong people to have because they were friends. We should have had people who were more creative. Like, think about it. Like, when you think about that, if we would have went in with 10 people who were born creatives, of course it would have worked. Of course, because they were going to do.
Instead of being like, okay, you know, we get along well enough, you're the homie, hey, do this.
Right.
Hey, you're interested in this?
Right.
Go ahead and,
right. We tried to, we looked at our friends and saw what they were interested in and tried to make them do it.
Right.
And sometimes they just have that, like, it's okay to just have the talent with no passion to do it.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can sing your ass off, but if you don't want to be a singer, that's okay. You can draw your ass off. You can take perfect fucking photography. But if you don't want to be a photographer, if you don't want to be an artist, that's okay.
Right.
It was ambitious for us to take 10 friends and try to make half of them do something that they did not want to do.
Right.
I think that if we would have got a streamer to replace AJ, if we would have got people that were good with social media to replace Nick and Chris, if we would have gotten a singer who wanted to sing to replace Sharice, if we would have gotten a person who wanted to do merch and who wanted to draw to replace Pudge, to join the creative six of us who wanted to do music, it would have worked. I don't think it was the number that made it too ambitious. It was the people in that number.
Got you.
And looking at it now, I think it's weird because I'm afraid to get people again. Like with the four of us, I'm content on it being the four of us because out of the four of us, we do everything now.
Right.
I'm in the gaming space and I'm damn good at it. I'm in the YouTube space. I'm in, me, Max, and Chris is in the podcast space. Me, you, Max, and Noel are still in the music space. You're doing new stuff. You're talking about clothing as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Noel's talking about podcasting as well. We all do so much now that I feel like that needed to happen back then for us to see what else we could do now creatively.
Right.
Because if we would have gotten Twitch people back in the day, I probably would have never joined Twitch. Because with me, I had to be like, fuck it. AJ's not doing it. I'm going to do it. Yeah. You know, Max was like, fuck it. Like, if no one else is going to do this fucking podcast, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like, even with me, it was like, fuck it. If nobody's going to put out an album, fuck it. Here's Mark My Words. Here's They Think They Know You. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. It was like, we lost two people that can make good music. Okay, here's some music. You know what I mean? Like, it got to that point where, so to really answer that question, do I think it was ambitious? No, I think we had great intentions. Wrong people. Like, we wanted to be odd, like we wanted to be an Odd Future where we brought our friends with us. And as you even see now with Odd Future, sometimes that's not the fucking step. That's not the fucking way to go. Yeah. Like, sometimes you just need to get people who has the passion like you do. Yeah. So will I do it again? I don't know. Because now, with them failing, led me to be the creator I am now. I would have never thought of this Per-Sception episode if fucking I never joined Twitch, if AJ would have been on his shit, or if we would have gotten a person who did Twitch. I would have never thought of shit like this before. I would have just been doing music. Max probably would have just been doing music. You know what I mean? Now, depending on where we would have been at, being just solely focused on music, I don't know. It's like looking through a kaleidoscope. It's so many things and so many outcomes you can see at one time with so many patterns. You really don't know what to focus on. But ambitious? No. The wrong people? 1000%. And it's scary because if I go back in time, would I do it again to be at the spot where I am now, maybe because I do love what I do now because of how they failed us and how they let us down and how they dropped the ball. And when I say they, I'm talking about Nick, Pudge, Chris at the time, because Chris is on his shit now. That's why I keep saying that. AJ, and Sharice. But I do think about what would happen if I would have gotten everybody, or everybody was to be on their shit, or if I would have gotten the right people to begin with.
Right.
So, what do you think? What's your thoughts on that question?
I mean, like, I feel like I'm right along with you on that. I do. Like, now that you explained it, I'm like, okay, I can understand that. But here's my question. Let's say, because like I said, I've told you that I've had people, express interest in joining the collective.
Right.
So, with that being said, say we have somebody who's like on their shit, they're doing their shit, and they want to join the collective. How do we pitch that? What can we offer? If we want to pull in other creators, what is it that we can offer that would make being associated with the Renascence Media brand worth it?
Okay. You know what? I know the perfect answer to that. Not the correct answer, because it's all subjective. But
yeah,
you know what the perfect answer to that is, bro? It's the same exact thing we said in the very beginning. September 25th, 2015. And I think throughout the years, like throughout these 5 years, I've forgotten that statement a bit.
Right.
Like, to look at this. Hold on, I'm coming. To look at this,
oh, man. The
throwback, and sometimes I look at this, and I look at the shirt, and I look at the other Renascence Media business card, and I look at that, and I go, that was it, like that. So when you say what makes it worthwhile, in a weird way, it's nothing, but it's everything at the same time. And that is what we were about in the beginning. It was
right.
Like, remember our mission statement in the very beginning, September 25th, 2015, the first post on Facebook, and what the tagline has been ever since is, we are a collective of creators that rebirth the art. And our mission statement is that you will have a platform of support no matter what you do. If you're a skateboarder and the only thing you want to do is make skate videos, well, guess the fuck what? You have a home and you have support. So you don't have to. So at least, even if there's just the 4 of us, and that one person joins in, they put out something, they know they have 4 people who are gonna back them up, no matter what. If you're a photographer, you put out a fucking lookbook, you have 4 people that's gonna back you up. If you're a musician and you put out a song or an album, or a music video, you got 4 people to back you up. You put out a fucking feature, you got 4 people to back you up. No matter what.
Right.
That's what we're here to do. And that's and that may not sound like a lot, but to a fucking creator, just having that solidified support means more than fucking anything. Because I know,
and it's like,
right,
it's serious, because like it's even something that I noticed, like, since Renascence has been a thing, and you remember that first few months, or honestly, we can say that first year. When we were releasing like Lucy's and things like that, and I was throwing little songs out, and I was doing like 300 plays
Yeah.
in a week. And I'm like, those are bigger numbers than I would have seen on my own.
Same. Before I deleted, because I deleted everything on SoundCloud, but before I deleted everything on SoundCloud, I made it a point where I reached 70,000 plays of all time. I would have never gotten that by myself. And like, a lot of people don't know me in New Jersey, but a lot of people do, or at least a lot of people that I respect do. Shout out to Red Eyes the Dawn. Shout out to Chef Steph. Shout out to Ray Valentine or 214. And many others. But, I would have never gotten the respect I've had now as a rapper or as a lyricist without Renascence Media. It's really just knowing that you have support. You have a platform. You want to throw a show, you got 4 people that you know are going to be there. You know what I mean? And sometimes that helps, because with me, I probably would have never put out the songs I have now, or never put out the albums, if I couldn't share it with you or Max or Noel and get that feedback as a peer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a support system, to be like, yo, what you think about this? Okay, fuck it. You gave me the feedback. Let me drop that. Let me put that out then. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
or
so
cool.
It's just like that extra layer of validation.
Exactly. It's you know what it is? It's a foundation to grow. And
yeah, I can see that.
I'm saying this right now. I used to be very afraid of extending it past the 4 of us, because from everybody else, it didn't work out. We had people who were passionate like Ray and Tone, but fallouts happened. Yeah. And we had people who we were friends with who weren't passionate at all. So we dealt with both sides of the spectrum here. I am now truly reopening the doors to Renascence Media. Like, I'm truly reopening the doors to Renascence Media because, like, we may not have killer numbers, but we got love, support, feedback, and pretty much everything. Like, we are a family, and that is important. Building because I realized somebody once said to me is that you have talent, you're good at creating, you're good at ideas, you're good at being innovative, but your superpower is making communities. Like, and I sat back and I thought about that. I mean, I connected you, Max, and Noel. I connected, all 3 of us with, Pudge, AJ, Nick, Chris. I connected all of us with Sharice, Ray, and Tone as fallouts fallouts as the 2 of them are. Shout out to Sharice though. I love you, Sharice. We ain't fallout with Sharice. I love Sharice. Love you, Sharice. And with that, and it's like I built communities from Twitch. I built communities with Red Eyes the Dawn and Chef Steph. I built people that will, off the strength of just Renascence Media alone, will listen to somebody who joins us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, we ain't doing numbers or doing tours, but you have that foundation to grow. You know what I mean? Like a rescue dog don't want to go to a house where they're not going to be fed, loved, and sheltered.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like a plant will die without significant sunlight and water and supplements. And like that's what each one of us does for each one of us. So to the person who wants to join Renascence Media, tell that person, let's talk. Because I am reopening the doors to Renaissance Media literally as of today, because I think we need passionate people to just not for the content, not to get big, not to blow up. We need passionate people because the collective makes a community and the community makes a family, and that's what we need at the end of the day. I wouldn't care if we don't blow up a single second.
Yeah.
But 20 years from now, when we all look back, I would like to not just see the four of us.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Tell them join up, man. You know what I'm saying? Tell them to join up, man. I know we're reaching a little bit past the hour, so I think we're gonna go into anything else Renaissance Media wise you want to touch on.
No, I think we pretty much covered, most of.
Yeah, most of that. Yeah. Before we do personally, one more creative thing. Technically, yeah, one more creative thing. We are. I do want to say we are. White Lighters is officially a thing. We are. To anybody who is wondering, me and Akil are now the group. Are a collab group called White Lighters. We are a collab duo called White Lighters. How did we come up with that? Because of Frank Ocean?
No, it was
or because of actual White Lighters, like because the myth of the White Lighters, right? 27 Club. Shout out 27 Club.
Yeah. So that was like, because I can't remember who all. I know Kurt Cobain. I think they said Hendrix.
It's Hendrix.
Joplin, and Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
I want to say.
And I think almost Mac.
Mac was off by a year.
Rest in peace to Mac Miller. I love you. Rest in peace to Mac, but almost Mac, man.
Almost.
Oh,
well, no, not even Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD died at 21.
You know who?
I feel like that's where we're going now. I feel like we are like closing in on the 21 Club.
Yeah, unfortunately, ain't that some shit?
Pop, Juice, X, Pop Smoke, 2021, like that's fucked up. But like, I feel like that's gonna be, for this new generation.
Amy Winehouse is also Amy Winehouse is also 27 Club too.
Yeah. But basically, back to that
Love you, Amy Winehouse.
thing.
Basquiat is 27 Club too. Basquiat is 27 Club too. Yeah.
Yep. But they basically, when they all died, they were found. They had white Bic lighters in their pocket.
Correct.
And so that's what that was, and that's why Frank Ocean said, "No white lighters till I fuck my 28th up. I'm not carrying a white lighter until my 28th birthday."
I love that line. And on my 28th birthday, I will be holding a white lighter for sure.
Shout out to Frank Ocean one time.
Shout out to Frank Ocean, man.
Frank Ocean shrine in the background. If we're gonna get that on camera real quick.
Hell just bring that shit on camera.
Got the Boys Don't Cry over here.
Hell yeah.
Friday poster. Endless vinyl. Like
shit,
we just out here.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Give me your favorite Frank Ocean song off the top of the dome. I know mine's excuse me. Ooh, mine's is Nights, man. Well, I love Nights. That beat switch in Nights.
Yeah.
It's untouchable.
But man, there's so many good Frank Ocean songs. Because I said Siegfried, but then immediately I'm like, wait, no, Godspeed. Like Godspeed I've been singing Godspeed all day long. Like it's been on my mind all day today.
Yo.
But like, man. But then if you go back to Nostalgia Ultra, fucking Love Crimes.
We All Try is something I still bellow out to this day. Crack Rock. Super Rich Kids is always a good one.
Right. Even stuff that wasn't on projects, fucking Whip Appeal.
Or Chanel. That's my shit. My God, pretty like a girl.
Nobody else gets me to sing lines like that.
Yo, like, facts. I be in my car. My God, pretty like a girl. Like, I be like, oh, what?
Ocean, Kevin Abstract.
Shout out to Kevin Abstract.
And Ryan Beatty have me saying like some of the gayest shit on
Tyler too, man. Tyler too. I be out here like fucking. I've been kissing white boys since 2004.
White boys since 2004. Like, do you know how many times
I ain't never kissed a white boy in my life?
I just gave my nigga head standing on my two legs, like. I'm just happy about the whole damn thing. And I'm just like, I don't fuck with no white boys.
Remember? Oh my God, bro, you gotta come back to New York soon, man. Bro, so we can fucking bumping Brockhampton down that busy street.
That was fucking fun.
And that fucking guy was like, y'all too? Yo, come on, fam.
What the fuck was his name? Tony
Tony?
I honestly don't remember.
I think we were talking about we were in New York. Oh yeah, oh my God, the dude in New York, freaking Tony Muggs or some shit like that. But personally, let's go into personal matters here. Give me what's personally, not creatively, not business wise, none of that. Personally, for a kill, give me what's your next 2-3 years looking like, man? Like, you planning to move, you staying in you staying where in the state where you at? Like, I'm looking to get out this state, bro. I just want to go see more. Like, I just want to go be somewhere else.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Honestly, like, I definitely think I'll be more onto, like, definitely traveling. Yeah. But, like, I feel like where I'm at right now is kind of like, it's in a decent spot to set myself up for bigger things.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
So, like, I would say the next 2 to 3 years would be building a platform for the next 5 to 10.
I like that. I think I'm on the same wave, man. I think I'm on the same.
Yeah. I'm trying to get my credit right, trying to save up some cash and, start, I guess, trying to be more secure.
Self-sustainable, yeah, man. Because
exactly.
Especially in this time, it's important.
Once I get my foundation and my platform right, then we plan the takeover.
Hell fucking yeah. Because I know for me, one of our biggest things where we were so big on moving to California, I not saying that that's not a place I would ever want to move to or go. It's just, I just don't have that dream anymore. Like, fucking put me into a place that's affordable. Like, get me to an affordable state that's fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? Fucking put me in Nashville, Tennessee. Put me in fucking, I mean, Seattle rains a lot, but I hear it's fun. Put me in Austin, Texas. Put me, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I do, I do want to, I'm kind of with you. Just the next 2 to 3 years to really get myself right, really get things going for me, and then fucking, really just getting out there. Like, I think seeing the world is probably something that I want to do. While I'm still young, while I still can, I'm about to be 28, man. We're closer to 30 than we are fucking 20 now, bro. We are so much closer to 30 than we are 20, And in 2015, I couldn't say that, but 2020, I'm like, oh shit, I'm knocking on 30, my boy. But I do want to do that. Personally, do you want to personally? And this is kind of personal and creative. Where do you want to be as an artist? Like, do you? Because before I used to really want to be a superstar. Oh man, like stadium selling out. Now, you know what, man? I'm kind of good with being the artist that people just kind of know and but makes money off of that art in a way, like have some type of sustainable income coming off of that art. And like I don't need to do the big tours and this, that, and the third. Man, you give me a nice underground tour, bro. Like I think I want to be closer to the fans. I want to be close to the support. I want to be able to have. I still want to be able to, if I wanted to have a career, but also do this on the back end. Like I think that's where I'm at, man. Like I don't need the security needs to follow me around. And like I look at indie artists. I think indie artists is the best way to put it. I look at indie artists, and not hip hop indie artists, but like Tame Impala or like Foster the People or like even smaller artists than them, or like way smaller artists than them that I listen to a lot, where they have like that core fan base, that core support, and they get to do shows when they want to, like Hobo Johnson, for instance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he ain't selling stadiums, but he gets to do a tour. He gets to do a nice little run. He gets to go home, live his life, and be able to chill, and don't need to do this, and the third to keep up with stardom. I think that's where I'm at with it, man. What about you, dude? What about you?
Yeah, I would say I'm in the same place where it's like I don't really care much for like being like super huge. It's like I want people to know me. I want my name to hold some weight.
Right.
And I don't want to ever have to work for anybody again. I want to be able to be like, yo, okay, I make music for a living. Like this is what I do for my life.
Facts.
And I just want enough money to be able to buy a fucking Maserati and a 1993 BMW E3, and like that's about it. I need me a nice modern home with the floor to ceiling windows, like, and a marble fucking countertop. Like,
facts.
That's all I want.
Facts. Ooh, that's facts. That's it. And I'm just gonna let you know, whatever car you get, you're not gonna be able to beat me racing down the Autobahn. Now listen.
Whatever. You say that. Wait till that damn Tesla Roadster come out.
Yeah, I'm gonna just throw a rock through the bitch.
Wait till I get the fucking. I don't even fucking know the goddamn Batmobile out this bitch.
Oh my god, man! But man, so we're reaching on an hour 30. Definitely before I wrap up, I'm gonna give you say some last words to the people, some last words for yourself. Let the people let people know what you're what you're planning. Give us some ETAs, some time frames. Let the people know what you're doing, whether it's clothing, music, whatever. Let us know.
Honestly, right now I'm just in that focus of like creating for creation's sake, it's like I'm just creating just to do so, and just to kind of flex that muscle. I have plans, but I don't want to speak on them because they might change.
Facts.
I've been working with some local artists, and that's something that is kind of like I would say like that's really where my main focus is right now. Is kind of like
collaboration.
I've got this solid people. Yeah, definitely the collaboration, because I would say I got burnt out with myself.
Same.
I got burnt out with myself for sure. And I think like I started realizing some of my limitations as a musician. And I think that kind of got me down. So I'm definitely like in the space of trying to pull more people in so I don't have to just rely on myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So definitely, some new stuff coming soon with, some of these people I've been working with. And yeah, otherwise I'm just working on the music and still trying to think on ideas. And
Hell yeah.
there's still a short film somewhere on the horizon.
All seems all right, man.
It's still gonna happen. New music videos, just a bunch of shit. I'm definitely like, I have ideas, and it's just a matter of executing. But definitely, I'm gonna start showing my face a lot more.
See, we here, bro, because I was just about to say that. I think other than music, a lot, like, you are a very entertaining person and a very immersive personality to know regardless. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like, of course, do you feel like other than music, like, are you, like, bro, I would love for you to join the Twitch world, bro. Like, even if you just sitting there talking with the people, like, you have like your own little podcast, or you have your own, space where you talk about things, or do this and that. You don't have to give your plans up, because I know we talked about what your plans are in private, so we ain't gotta snitch on ourselves. But like, are you looking to, but I know like you tried the IG Live thing, and IG Live sucks as a platform, but I know you tried the IG Live thing, but like are you looking to bring some of your personality to places like maybe YouTube or Twitch, or just anything other than music in itself? Just you and your personality, like anything, podcasting, anything.
Definitely, that is like where I think I probably, even if I just kind of like record myself, making a beat, or do something like, maybe like a timed song challenge, or some. I definitely think I want to branch out more into, like, I guess, being the personality.
Yes.
Instead of just like doing the music and throwing it out there. It's like, that's only like 25% of, who I am and what I got going on. So I definitely do want to like branch out into like that space.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
Because
don't know the best way to do it. Outside of what we already talked about.
Right.
I gotta think of some more things.
Of course. And mind you, I've been, I'm touching on a lot of platforms, Twitch and YouTube and etc. And one of the things that I've learned being in these other platforms, and just being the personality of Mark Lee Simmons, or the personality of Renascence Mark, is that it really gives you, it does help the other side, which is like the musical persona of yourself. Because my thing was, music to me, it was all like, the music persona of myself is always a shadow. And what I mean by that is, like, no matter what song I make, it's only a time capsule of that emotion at that time. Like, if I'm being silly and I make a silly song, it's because, so it's that emotion at that time. If I make a song where I'm sad, depressed, heartbroken, angry, feeling myself, bravado, whatever the case may be, it's only a product of that time when I made that song. Like, I can make a depressed song today, and tomorrow will be the happiest person in the world. But going back to that song, listening to it, performing it, etc., it reminds me of just that time. And what I was thinking is, when people listen to it, people listen to music because it connects to them, maybe at that time, or that emotion, or that expression. So like me feeling depressed today and making a depressed song today, in 2 weeks, if somebody hears it and they're depressed, it's their depression connecting with my depression. It's not really them connecting with me. When I'm bringing myself to other platforms where it's just me, it's no expressions of music, or it's nothing where the time is in a standstill. It's just my personality ever moving, ever forward. People connect with me. So I feel like you'll body that space, bro. You'll body that space. You know what I mean?
For sure. I just gotta get out there and start that.
Yeah, we definitely talked about it, and like I said, I know what you have in the works, and once, you know, me and you can spitball all day and think of better execution ways, because I definitely got your back on that for sure. But yeah, man, I'm gonna wrap it up. We're at hour 37.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna wrap it up because I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you probably got work and I need to go to bed. So we getting old, bro. We getting old. But damn, remember where you just used to like stay up to like, you know, like just that stay up till whenever.
Like recently came up in my Facebook memories. It was some post I made back in like 2010. And I was like
10 years
because I had stayed up for 24 hours straight. And I was like, let's see if we can do 36. And I'm like, yo, I miss the days when shit like that was accepted.
Yeah, because now
I'm like, up for 28 hours straight
and be fine. Like now I'm like, damn, I stayed up for 4 hours. Let's see if I can hit 6. Like, like I'm tired.
4 a.m. starts coming around. I'm like, I gotta go to sleep.
Yeah, I got to go. You know, I'm telling you that shit's gonna come back, bro. It's gonna come back. I feel like that's not out of us yet, bro. Like it's not gone. I think it's just suppressed because we got work and bills and we got so much to think about. But
just the way the lifestyles
are. But it's there. But I'm definitely about to wrap it up. So first and foremost, I do want to say, Akil, you know I love you always as my brother, my family. Love you to death, my guy. And I am gonna wrap it up. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for taking the time out tonight. I know this was also a little bit last minute, so I do appreciate that. And with that being said, lastly, I can say thank you all for watching. This has been another episode of Per-Sception. I am Renascence Mark, your modern Renascence content creator, for the neighborhood content creator. I am going to post a bunch of stuff for Akil in the descriptions. I'm also going to post my stuff in the descriptions, like Twitch and stuff, where else you could find me and where else you could find Akil, Mr. the Paragon himself. And with that being said, love you all. Peace. Hey.